I was kind of hoping you would say like Raphael, because I just one he's like Tony is so high on my list.
Uh-huh.
Like I interviewed Don Robinson a few years ago, and I was just telling her like how it's like Raphael's an enigma, and he's underrated. Like he doesn't get the credit he deserves as far as just what 35 years, nearly 40
Right.
years of
Yeah.
just crafting amazing work. So like,
Yeah. I guess for me, I think a lot of people would expect Ray Raphael because, but that, and it's funny because, he is someone, but he's someone I work with all the time. He's my family. You know what I mean?
hmm
His first cousin is his first cousin is my godbrother. So I grew up with them. You know what I mean? To have them just, and so always singing. They let me be in the Tonys. So I was the only girl that they allowed to come in the Tonys and the tour. And so imagine being the only girl with about 12 guys.
uh-huh.
Ugh, growing up in that environment. And then, did the Tonys, did the House of Music recorded on that. And then, when I left, did that, I started working with Ray. I was always in the studio with Ray and everything. I was,
hmm
because that's my cousin, literally. You know what I mean? And when we left that and then started working on the Lucy Pearl record and doing that and then coming in and recording. And it was funny because I was being with Ray, but then Dawn and I started working together. So it was just like, boom, we're all here. So I always say I like the unofficial fourth member of Lucy Pearl because I did all the vocal arrangements and the writing as well. So Don't Mess With My Man and Dance Tonight,
hmm
all those arrangements and all this stuff. So that whole record. And then coming off of the Lucy Pearl stuff, and then when Ray started doing his stuff, I was supporting vocal on that as well. So it's funny. I guess because he's my family, I don't take it for granted. I don't take him for granted, but it's just like that's a given for me. So
Right.
it's yeah, yeah.
hmm
But in retrospect, BJ Kemp, going back to BJ, is like somewhat I would say that's his idol, of course. That's his mentor as far as musically and producing and everything like that. And even recent Ray, I was talking to Ray and he was like, saying how proud he was of BJ that he's getting in and he's doing his thing like that. So BJ always plays his stuff to Ray to get his approval. Like, man, how you feeling? And he gives him like, do this, da 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 da. So we're all intertwined and everything. So
Right.
pushplaypods.com.